time that he had. Still gonna get the bomb planted close range. James lands a headshot and is gonna pick up a 3K alongside it. And Na'Vi will be hoping that's not a sign of things to come.
No, I mean, Na'Vi, I'm amazed they actually let that round slip away from them. They had such a solid setup on long. Some great shots really weakened it. That kill on the player at top A actually allowed them to progress. As long as he survived, they wouldn't have been able to move up long across that wall. I thought Electronic did enough, and obviously, putting Simple in a 1 versus 1, you're never going to be upset about that one down the stretch. But a great pistol round recovery. Oh, and even a follow-up. James got the headshot through the door onto Edward. That's nasty, and there's a little bit of a response. This is investment from Na'Vi. They burst a decent amount of their economy into this round. Zeus needs to back away, but got the information. It's still recoverable for Na'Vi at 3 on 4.
Recoverable, sure, but it's still going to be very difficult. With Vanguard, the weapon advantage, plus the player. Way more grenades on the side of the T's. And James still back at spawn, just to make sure that no one crosses. This is vital information. If he sees another player cross, that may give the go-ahead to his teammates to push long, but they're going to decide against it. They want to stick together, play the strength in numbers approach. Still well over a minute to play with anyway. And there's another one. Misses out on his opportunity, but this is still intel that he can pass across to the rest of his team.
Exactly. He's just posted up in the middle of the map, seeing how many players are crossing back and forth. Just for that point, as you said, of giving information to his teammates so they can make the right decision. And here's Fitch applying a little bit of pressure. He spots one over the smoke. That's a kill on the Simple. Getting aggressive, trying to thin them out, but it's not going to happen. And now Kaikert and Krizen making their move out long A. Na'Vi out of position entirely. What they can do is aggress upon Fitch if they want. It's not really a gun that is going to be too happy about recovering. It's nothing that's super powerful, but obviously taking anything away at this stage in the game is valuable. AVANGAR is going to get their second round.
Yeah, somewhat of an expendable weapon. Does give information, so Vanguard know you can just pretty much sprint to the A site, get the bomb planted.
The nice thing is, you know, the pistol on Zeus and Electronic, they can pass these weapons over, so next round there's still some danger. I mean, obviously that scout, you'd imagine it would be handed over to Simple, who saved money in this round, probably so we can have an AWP in their first full buy. But certainly can create some crazy situations. This is going to be a fun match to watch, because we saw AVANGAR upset FaZe earlier in this event, I think just yesterday, and the crazy thing about it was it felt like FaZe was a little bit uncomfortable with the decisions of where the AVANGAR players were going, kind of how they played certain scenarios. They were unused to the decisions that AVANGAR was being made. Na'Vi being from, you know, the CIS region as well, you'd imagine that they'd be a little bit more comfortable with AVANGAR. Certainly not going to underestimate these players.
Yeah, it was something that we were talking about with Adren. The addition of Adren, would he know something about AVANGAR? They were quite unpredictable. The pushes through Connector without any smokes preceding it on Mirage really did catch FaZe, and they never seemed comfortable. They never seemed to be able to get a grasp or a read on the situation. As you say, with Na'Vi, you would expect that they're going to have a general idea, a consensus of what's up against them here. Early on, though, it really has been the James show. His 3 kills in that pistol were phenomenally important, and now we get through into round 3, and Na'Vi not with much to their name.
I'm really excited to see James with the AWP when that comes out for him. We saw him be a monster with it, as, you know, again, as they played FaZe. He was a complete beast. Simple, we going up against him with the AWP on the CT sign on Na'Vi. And that's going to be an exciting matchup to keep track of between those two players. Obviously, those AWP duels, we don't often see them go like head-to-head against each other. It's usually kind of a battle of the AWP picking off the rifles and everything, but certainly in terms of impact, a great duel. Zeus is going to find an opening kill. That's going to force AVANGAR back, and despite the fact that they won the previous round, this is similar fashion this round is starting off. Again, they've been forced back. Zeus has armor and a Galil now, and the rifle. There is an increasing amount of danger in this round, but AVANGAR at the moment is moving across the map, rotating all the way back towards the B bomb site, and that's the correct decision.
Certainly is. They're going to have Bust Up making a move out first. It's just going to be Simple. I say just Simple. To be able to carve out the head of the oncoming AVANGAR with Molotov being deployed. That should be all she wrote, but Zeus going to use the Galil against the T's, doing significant damage. Time is starting to run a bit scarce now. And Vanguard going to need to get a skate onto the site, but they will do just that. Bomb going to get planted up close to Jade. There's one looking for a second, gets it done. And the lack of head armor really starting to catch up with Na'Vi now in this lack of a purchase. Hyper-aggression. We'll see the end of Jane, but the damage should have been done. Especially now as Fitch has found Simple. Oh, hold on. This may not be over just yet, Jason.
Yeah, they've thinned it out. 2-on-2, retaking. Flamey's gonna have to do something magnificent. Misses that shot. Grizzin is gonna be held back into the site though. He doesn't want to peek, doesn't want to be exposed, and Zeus can't find anything. But they've done great damage. They can stay in this position and take these last few guns away. Zeus might want to think about saving that armor. Flamey can't connect the shot. One more kill. Not bad at all, and now you back away. No chance of winning. The bomb's gonna blow up. Zeus is gonna go down. But Buster's going to get away, and that is a very sketchy round win for AVANGAR. 3-0, though. They're going to be pleased with that scoreline. But significant damage done to the economy.
Absolutely. It was, what, an MP9 and a Scout, I think they had coming into it with some pistols?
Yeah, they had the, they dropped the Scout over, so they had the upgraded pistols, the MP9, and 2 upgraded pistols, so not bad. I mean, Electronic and Edward trying to come through the smoke, no visibility, and as you said, the no head armor is brutal. Here we go. Simple's got the op, so does Jane. He had a pick in those doors with the Scout in round 2.
Na'Vi with their first rifle round, so vitally important they start well, and Simple will strike on long. Grizzin not able to acquire long control.
That's an odd peek without a flashbang. You had Kaikert in support, who also just eats a nade now. He has a flashbang ready to go. They could have just tossed that over to blind Simple. Allow a chance to get out. Zeus has been pretty solid. He's being aggressive. He's going to find one more. There goes James.
Certainly a risky play, though, when they didn't have any kind of idea as to what was down tunnels. Quicket's going to find himself Flamey. Electronic could get caught with a grenade out, and suddenly things are getting sketchy. Na'Vi were in such a commanding position. The flashbang is on point, though, and Edward will be able to salvage this round by the looks of things.
Those are mistakes that didn't need to be made from Flamey and Edward. Uncharacteristic, and as you said, especially not in a 5-on-3. Just play it safe, play it conservative, make them commit to a bomb site, but peeking up mid, getting caught with an 8 out close to the double doors, that's rough. It's going to make this expensive and a little bit more difficult. Here comes Kaikert. Looking for anything in mid. Any kind of information would be great. The A bomb site is wide open. This is actually a pretty deadly scenario. This could be huge. They're again picking the right play in the mid round. An empty bomb site, they're going to get the plant, and they're going to have time to set up. And look at all the utility vents. 2 Molotovs, 2 smokes that they can use. This is huge.
The only downside is Zeus may be able to catch them on the cross. He's seen the bomb carrier. Quicker, out goes the grenade. 10 seconds left. They're going to have to get a move on here. AVANGAR may not have enough time. 6 seconds, the bomb carrier's been denied. There's no time. Na'Vi have pulled it off in such a strange seesaw round. Fitch hold onto his AK, dies after time to make it worse for AVANGAR, but there was a moment there where you thought the T's had it in the bag.
Yeah, it really felt like they had the advantage in that, but great rotations from Na'Vi heading up Catwalk as well, and obviously not the manpower to leave somebody on Catwalk. AVANGAR didn't know the A-bomb site was clear, and a Molotov is going to ruin their day. So 3-1, still in the favor of AVANGAR, but they might be forced into a little bit of an awkward monetary situation. So many rumors, as we have a little bit of extra time to talk, so many rumors about this Na'Vi squad. No one really knows what's going on, except for probably the player themselves, you'd hope. About what's going to happen to this lineup after the major, if all the players are actually happy with how things are going. But certainly a lot of people, you know, the words that we were hearing out of that camp and kind of the performance they had at a small tournament in London before this major had a lot of people worried, myself included, but they have actually looked much, much better than I think most expected. And Flamey has stepped up in this major with a whole new level that we hadn't seen in months.
Certainly, then obviously their only loss was to Liquid, second best team in the world if you look at rankings, so definitely no shame in that. Plus they took Liquid pretty damn close in a 16-13 map. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know if it was a case of Zeus playing some 4D chess, 10,000 IQ with some of the comments he was making.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's very possible. Great pop flash in towards mid to get that headshot. Yeah, I mean, then that's the funny thing. I mean, Zeus kind of saying, you know, we're just playing like it's not that important of a tournament. We're not, you know, boot camping or practicing that hard. And then Simple came out and he was just like, yeah, Zeus likes to joke. We obviously know it's important, so they're just messing with our heads at this point. Double op setup for Na'Vi. They had it in the previous round, but the op was taken away from Flamey. He's got it back in his hands now, and he's got himself 1 kill. Gotta be careful. Ooh, that's a great tag through the door. Just a random warning shot is going to connect.
And this lack of investment, as Simple finds Buster, is of course due to round 3, where Na'Vi did a great job of choking out AVANGAR on the bomb. Even though AVANGAR won the round, they only kept one weapon alive. And it has now caught up with them. Crizant, 40 seconds. Oh, simple and characteristically will miss that. It's going to cost him. Of course, Na'Vi should still claim this round and pick up the second AWP. But no more damage being done if Flamey drops there. That is a disaster of a round for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it certainly would have been. Some work with that P250, not too shabby. Edward there, fully focused, and AVANGAR might be ready for another buy. Gonna be happy with that kill onto Simple, but as you said, the AWP will be salvaged moving forward. Here we go, 3-2. You have the Krieg coming out on Buster, if you're old school. Otherwise, the SG-553, another shot through the door. He's got to be careful. There's a peek, a follow-up from Flamey. He was trying to catch James unaware, but that's not going to happen, and Flamey comes out on the losing end of that. A nice little duel in mid.
Yeah, certainly AVANGAR getting a lot of those taps through the double doors. You saw this earlier in the tournament as well with Hellraisers. There was Voxit consistently hitting people on the cross. It really does hamstring you on the B side. You can't play aggressive, you have to play very much passive. And there's James. Simple goes for a peek down doors. Living up to his CS Jesus nickname, he is omnipresent at this stage. Crizant's been found. But AVANGAR maintain the player advantage. With Flamey so low, Na'Vi on the brink of being broken again.
Yeah, but Flamey, even with low HP, with that AWP, can still make this work. I'm just going to post him up in the back of the B bomb site. The one thing they have to be mindful about is mid, but this is a cool call. Na'Vi has been doing this very effectively in this tournament so far. When they're put down in a couple manpower, they kind of stack over towards one side of the map and just gamble it. They've picked correctly for the moment. It's only going to be Edward peeking though. His top shot, that's going to be taken down. The follow-up as well. Na'Vi's right back in this round, and that's the bomb. Edward needs to get into some cover. Not aware a third player is going to come out. A weird side-armed Molotov doesn't come down quick enough. And it's on Fitch who can't win that battle. The all-grain Supreme. Buster in a 1-on-2. Flamey is low.
It's actually a really nice smoke. It just keeps the car position under the CT's control, and with such little time, AVANGAR can't get this. Buster has no hope. He's going to hold on to the AWP, see if he can get an exit frag on his way out, but this round is going to go with Na'Vi. But even that being said, yes, Na'Vi claim the round, but they lose 3 players. Simple and Zeus very low on funds. This is not going to be a great buy.
No, it won't be, and especially because they've favored that double op setup. I think Flamey can actually drop one if they want to go that route, but certainly this buy is going to eat even more into the cash that they don't really have a lot of overall. Regardless, in the major, you're just happy to win the round, aren't you? Zeus is leading the way at 8-2. That's not bad at all.
If he has one of his big performances, they don't come around too often, but when he does, they typically win.
Yeah, I guess that's the good thing. Even if you don't see them too frequently, you know if Zeus is dropping, 25, 30 kills, that's likely a win for Na'Vi.
Simple hasn't quite had the impact in the first 6 rounds that we were hoping for. Still early days, of course.
He'll pick it up. You're not going to keep someone like Simple quiet for too long. We discussed it though in the in the earlier stages of Na'Vi, showing us early in the games of this Legend stage. If Simple feels like he needs to do too much, if he feels like he's the player who's got to kind of win this for Na'Vi, you can see some overextensions on his part. Perhaps one we just saw in that round when he got picked off, but it is a fine line that you've got to ride. Here we go, James. Smoke down is going to cover the cross of Flamey and Edward. Pitches up catwalk very fast, and there's Zeus. He's got the AUG. He was there quickly as well. Doesn't take any damage. Those deagle shots don't connect.
AVANGAR did invest a little bit into this round, half buy, knowing that Na'Vi's economy is weak. Super passive play, though. Going to really try and pivot off James' AWP, see if he can make some inroads, carve out a play for the rest of his team to follow on to. But so far, Na'Vi have done a pretty good job of just battening it down. They don't have a huge amount of utility, though. Only 2 smokes still in play.
I think 2 things. Likewise, they also realize that this is going to be, a half buy or a very low buy for AVANGAR, and there's no point for them to get aggressive and give up some kind of a kill to weaken the defense. Just stay back and let them come to you. And especially that, not wanting to risk their lives because their economy is really, really damaged. James witnesses his teammate fall beside him, and he wants to go for more aggression. He's going to his follow-up teammate as the only AWP, and it's not going to work either. Good job from Edward. Smoke is going to prevent AVANGAR from moving forward, and they really don't have any leg to stand on in this round. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, Quicker just wants to scamper out of there and try and save, but Electronics a step ahead. He realizes and reads the situation. He wants to get in position as soon as possible with the AUG. I mean, the AUG really is tailor-made for maps like Dust 2 and finds the headshot. The AUG will not be getting saved anytime soon. Krizen's now going to have to make a trek across there.
He needs to actually choose if he wants to die. Navi's getting in a great position to eliminate him after the timer, and for a team that's having money issues, this would be a disaster. This would be the second time a player is denied bonus money. Krizen, when does Navi choose to push forward? They're coming through T-spawn right now. There's the shot from Edward. Perfect play from Navi. And that is an extra punish on top of everything else. Jame buys up an AWP. I mean, AVANGAR have to buy in this round. They have the cash for it. Buster's right on the edge, but Krizen has basically nothing.
And additionally, Na'Vi pick up the secondary AWP from Jame. Obviously had it originally, so it bolsters there by that much more. Jame, see if he can find anything through mid, but there is a smoke down there. But it is tailor-made to allow Simple to peek through. If James starts to move to his right-hand side, down mid, things could get quite sketchy. Simple's giving that position away from a flashbang. You can see some respect being shown from Na'Vi as well. These flashes come in and they don't want to hang around.
Well, I mean, when you run this double op setup as well, you want the ops to kind of take the point of action, right? You want the ops to be able to thin out one or two players before the rifles really have to get into work. Doesn't always work that way, but certainly you don't need to be the aggressors. Flamey's at the A bomb site, peering on catwalk. Simple here in mid. That's the position of the two ops, and you can see Simple being much more cautious than he has been previously, waiting for someone to walk out mid. These have been slow-paced round from AVANGAR. Fitch working up catwalk all by his lonesome. Krizen, Kykert, and Jame coming down mid. Looks like Simple might get his chance, and he's getting bored. That timing, though, just misses the opportunity. Flamey who makes first contact. There's a missed shot, and he's punished.
And if Simple spots that, Flamey may have actually started to back away or played a bit more cautiously. The timing really catching Na'Vi unawares. Fitch now going to make a move. Buster's been tagged. James is burning to a crisp, and Zeus holds it down with the AUG. Time is running scarce. AVANGAR going to have to make inroads sooner rather than later. I'm not sure about that from Zeus. Maybe stick with the AUG, or perhaps not. He's going to land onto Quicker, but instantly finds Jame, who is not going to miss. Edward trying to tap with the AUG, still time ticking away, dwindling. 10 seconds, Jame going to get the plant down. But Edward finds Krizen. It's a 2-on-3 stacked against the Vanguard. Jame misses the shot. This one you expect him to land. But to be fair, his teammate had been taken out anyway. Probably wouldn't have ended up mattering, but Na'Vi will pick up another one.
That's great utility usage from Zeus to slow down that hit, find himself a couple of kills, especially picking up the op, but Edward was the one who really slowed down that cross. Once Zeus falls, Edward makes sure, even if they get the plant down with that kind of a time, there's no opportunity for AVANGAR to get out of the bomb site. They're all trapped for the Na'Vi retake. Well played. And AVANGAR struggling. That plant is going to help them out. Jame is still going to be on an AWP. No armor, no nades. Good openings found for Jame. Just not coming in quick enough to secure the bomb site. Give them a chance to win. 5-3.
Yeah, the lonely 3 rounds picked up from AVANGAR off the back of that pistol. 5 in a row now to Na'Vi, who maintained the double op setup. Worked pretty well for them in the last round. Simple did get somewhat nullified. Jame again peering down mid. We're going to see this time and time again. The tension palpable between the two AWPers, but elsewhere, Krizen finds the first of round 9. It kind of goes along with what you said, that the AWPers aren't going to find each other that often, but it's more the impact they can do elsewhere on the map.
Well, that Molotov almost forces Fitch back into the crosshair of Simple. It's so close. Edward got aggressive out towards long where he's been holding, and now it's Flamey coming up next. They obviously know Fitch is there. Oh, this follow-up, that should do it. Right over the top. Bounces just for fun. Nice job from Simple, Zeus, and whoever threw that Molotov off catwalk. Might have been Zeus himself. Krizen and Jame now out long. And it's too late in the round for Na'Vi to really defend it. They have to allow them out, and you can see starting to push up on Catwalk. It's so tough defending that A bomb site. If you're stuck in the site, it's kind of no man's land. All you can really have is an AWP, and even if he gets one chance, and it's so difficult to make a re-peek work.
The good news for Na'Vi, though, is there's no one pushing up short. That's where things get even worse. More tenuous, and Flamey will strike on the first time of asking. Looking for a second, will double up. Quicker gets sprawled out. And Flamey not far off on the third. Has whiffed a couple of shots. This could cost them. Finally gets it done. Buster's not able to get onto the site. He will be saving again, and AVANGAR lose their 6th round in a row now.
Flamey is a very capable double or secondary AWPer. He's done it in the past to great effect. He's been super impressive, even back when they had Guardian on the team. He is very, very deadly with that weapon, but the problem right now for AVANGAR is they just seem scared. They seem afraid of these AWPs. They're very tentative, very slow and cautious at moving up. And they're not putting any utility in the faces of the AWPer. There's no flashbangs. Flamey had plenty of opportunities to peek and re-peek. Spots the leg of Jame around the edge of that smoke.
It's something we discussed yesterday, I think it was on Train, where if a team has 2 AWPs, one very good way of counteracting it is just getting up in their face. Getting some smoke, some flashes, pushing right into them.
Yeah, I mean, with the utility using, and again, this is going to be another tough round. This is a half buy for 3 players on AVANGAR, and we saw this a lot. This is kind of a cool way of AVANGAR playing a different style of making sure that they always have some element of danger, because we know the pistols are strong. So 2 AKs fully purchased, down to very little money, 3 upgraded pistols. That's a little bit curious, though. Jame, you can't stand in the open like that. He gets dropped eventually. Nice trade coming out, and this can turn into a mid-B split. There's not a lot of utility for AVANGAR to slow play this and kind of change their mind and, you know, move around the map. 1 smoke and 1 flashbang left, because they don't utilize the mid-smoke that was put out.
Yeah, they committed quite a lot to that mid sort of fake now at this stage, didn't they? And haven't got a lot for it. If they do push through, it's going to be a claustrophobic, close choke point that they push through on the tunnel side.
The one nice thing about where they're headed now is it is against Simple, who is amazing, but he has an AWP, and that smoke can cover him off. Not using the Molotov, using the AWP. There's the first coming out of the smoke. They can't pick him off. So good. Simple can be so safe, and he's so on point. 7-3.
I guess that's where the problem comes in, because originally if they explode out and they start charging, it's going to be hard for Simple to, obviously after each shot you need to, you know, pull back the bolt, etc. So you can swarm over and all, but they were so worried about door and window, they just kind of stuck in the smoke in the end. Yeah,
that 1 smoke they threw up, that might have been their only chance. Maybe a flashbang through it, get into the site, and even if they had, you could see Edward was there as well. So another try for AVANGAR. As you said, 7 in a row now for Na'Vi. Gonna move down mid a little bit quick. Kurt. Oh, he catches 1. That's Simple. Electronics there as well. They were going for a timing nade up towards Tree, up towards the base of Catwalk, and they're both punished. The best opening AVANGAR's had in the last 7 rounds. They must convert this.
Yeah, they simply have to. Otherwise, this is going to spiral out of control. Let's see what they do with this. They know that Na'Vi are going to end up being thinly spread. May anticipate some kind of a stack coming in. Edward did just see a couple of shoulders peeking around the corner, flashbang in his eyes. But the call comes through, and instantly Flamey and Zeus move into position, and they both struck gold. Fitch and Buster both get destroyed. And suddenly it's a 3-on-2. This is now very doable. Flamey's going to finally get Molotov'd out of position. This puts more pressure on Zeus. Plus both players have AWPs. They can't really get up close and personal. Somehow Flamey's made a way outside, into the site. How is that even possible? He's going to claim another kill, and he spots another player, misses the first shot, but switches to a sidearm. This is where the 5-7 could be absolutely brutal for AVANGAR, and he's claiming frags left and right. AVANGAR are going to let this slip through their fingers. Flamey gets 4 kills, and Na'Vi somehow get an 8th round.
Well, in that kind of a situation, if you're Flamey, you have to make a bold play, but I cannot believe AVANGAR allowed that to happen. Again, we go back, we just mentioned, they seem to be playing so scared of these AWPs. That player at Car did not want to peek, did not want to stop this play from coming in. And Flamey, this is incredible. Behind the cover of the smoke, if he doesn't make this play, they likely lose. And by the way, all during this time, Zeus is actually flanking through B tunnels. So if Flamey goes down, I mean, Zeus has no chance of helping him out. 13 kills for Zeus, 13 for Simple, but Flamey with that 4 kill, that is in, 13 for Flamey. Simple's on 7. Those 4 kills are so impressive.
I mean, that's the terrifying thing. We're so used to Na'Vi having Electronic and Simple carrying. Well, now you've got Flamey and Zeus leading the charge. Edwards behind them. Electronic's the bottom fragger for Na'Vi at this stage. They're not leaning on those shoulders at all. Flamey, speaking of the man, has been tagged down early on. But again, with the AWP, he can still strike and peace out pretty comfortably if they give him the chance, as we saw in the last round. We have AKs and scouts again here, Moses, but a distinct lack of utility.
I was going to say, we're going to have to keep harping on it, because it is the lack of nades that are going to be tough. Without the utility, you're forced into just taking dry fights against those AWPs. They're using their utility just to get out and get comfortable in towards long, so James, is going to have to hit a nice headshot.
Yeah, whereas he started very well, things have slowed down a little bit, not just for him, but AVANGAR generally. 8 rounds in a row to Na'Vi. And the bulk of those kills for James came in the first couple of rounds. Simple now on the prowl with his AWP. Different angle, not up on the site. This can actually catch James off guard. He's going to peek around the corner, nearly line up for a 2-on-1. But he's able to scamper away. James does get a kill with the scout. The tagged up Flamey gets finished off.
Yeah, but look at the movement of Na'Vi. Everyone's going to be here, and they're even moving up catwalk. Zeus with the AUG. There's gaps in the smoke. One smoke cannot cover that entire thing. Here goes Zeus. Going to delay him even longer, make this fight awkward for them. Still holding on. Edward is boosted up now as well. This doesn't get any easier. Great kill from Buster, and over the top is Fitch. An unlikely round, but they've put it in their favor. They have lost these before, but I feel like their positions in this one are just too powerful.
That was pretty unreal. That was a 4-on-4 with 10 seconds left.
Oh, they might want to go for it now as well, Na'Vi.
Yeah, that could bait them into it. Simple lands himself a shot through the car. Flashbang up. Allows Electronic to start to make a little bit of a move in, see if they can execute off one of these pixels. That peeks over the box, but he decides against it. They realize that this round is pretty much done. AVANGAR will get a 4th, but it does keep plenty of money in the back pocket of Na'Vi.
Nice round for AVANGAR. Not going to be able to lean on that too much. Obviously, Jen with the scout, that was the big key, picking off Flamey. They actually went at both AWPs that round. They're going to get their 4th on the board. Plenty of money for Na'Vi to buy back up into this. And this is a much better buy for AVANGAR. They're going to have 4 AKs, they have the AWP on James, and they all have utility.
And this is what I was talking about. 4 players still on Na'Vi. 13 seconds to push onto the side, get the entries. An unlikely round, but it does just about snake its way into AVANGAR's hands. What can they do with this, though? Last time they picked up a spree of rounds. They'll be hoping for the same. Pretty much a standard stack, but Na'Vi again giving up mid-control. AVANGAR have shown a couple of rounds they are definitely keen on trying to make the most of it with B-splits.
We didn't see them actually pull it off in any way, though.
Yeah, they've like postured with smokes and kind of pull back.
They start to try and make it happen. They get to like the beginning of that strategy, and then they kind of give it up. Flamey again with this angle. This is... Oh, he's going to go for the deep peek. Krizen's going to come around this corner very fast, and actually, if they come up the stairs, that can be a pretty difficult shot to hit, because Flamey's going to expect appearance from far away. There it is, though. Finch comes in slowly. High curtain next one. He's going to be isolated because of the Molotov. He even got hit in the face by it, and then eats the AWP bullet. All 3 players for AVANGAR on catwalk. Entries have been stopped and forced back, and Na'Vi don't even really have to do anything now. They can just wait for AVANGAR to attack the bomb site.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like AVANGAR are really willing to explode out altogether. That was very stalled and labored. It was 2 peaks individually. Rest of the team is still on catwalk. Unsure of what to do.
Not even with any utility either. No flashbangs. We'll go back to that just one last time. Flamey, he's got 2 kills in the round and a chance to build upon that.
It's been Molotov'd out though, so there is maybe a hope. They got a couple of frags into a bomb plant last round, and Flame's gonna shut the door in their face. A full ace as well. 5 kills. Phenomenal play by Flamey, and he continues to impress. He's having a stormer of a dust too.
Yeah, even Zeus there fired up and loving it. 9-4, the immediate response. Na'Vi looking to have a big first half. That's too easy for Flamey. That one's unfortunate for Kickert. But these are all fun and games. He's even got Zeus kind of distracting for him. They're focused in the other direction, and Flamey gets all 5.
What you take from that is Flamey got an ace from sight onto catwalk. That's pretty rare.
I'm actually just hoping that this is just, you know, AVANGAR not being comfortable on Dust 2. Because we saw them in Mirage against FaZe, and they looked like they were much more dynamic, much more aggressive, much more comfortable with the different fights that they could take. And it's really kind of making me confused why we see them being so afraid of battles.
Yeah, fear definitely seems like the correct word.
This is not the time for it, though, right? You're playing for a spot in the Legend stage. You know, if you lose this, you have another BO3 to play in this event. You're not eliminated, so give it all. And you have to imagine, you know, with everything we mentioned earlier, this Na'Vi team with the question marks surrounding them, you might as well test and see if they're going to be weakened in any kind of factor. We haven't seen that too much in this event. They've actually looked like the possibility of breaking up has banded them together. Flamey almost caught out in the open, but still no progression from AVANGAR, and actually he's going to get plenty of shots at this angle.
Yeah, it's the same again, isn't it? They're just slowly piling out at the same choke point. Na'Vi will continue to punish you. They had pistols as well, there's no reason to be playing slowly.
Right, I mean, the mobility is one of the strengths of having those weapons, and this is where that kind of tactic from AVANGAR that we've seen is like them constantly force buying to have some element of danger in each round, missing the Molotovs to drop into that site to force Flamey out. Now, fair play, the previous round they had 2 Molotovs, one on site and one kind of towards the ramp, and Flamey still got an ace, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered in the long run, but now it's just easy for him.
20 kills for Flamey, and we're not done with the first half yet. That is ridiculous.
It's not too bad. That's got to have some people afraid. He had a pretty great series against Liquid as well, hitting some incredible shots. For a team that we often talk about with some of their struggles, when you see Na'Vi looking lackluster, it's usually because we're talking it's the simple and electronic show, but if Flamey's going to be there as well, all of a sudden they have an incredible trio of players.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Plus, Zeus is putting in a performance.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Still on 13 kills for a couple rounds now, but it's because Flamey's been doing all the work. He doesn't even have any kills available to him.
They keep pushing him, so he keeps smacking them down. And he'll be hoping long may that continue. 132 ADR. Okay. If it was an AWP, he'd have had the kill, but the Scout not going to pack the same punch. And Flamey will KO him for the rest of this half.
Now, with that low HP, Zeus has got to be pretty committed to a long defense. Zeus cannot allow anyone to turn that corner, even if it's just one player. There's Buster spotted at top mid. Crizzen taking that fight on Zeus. Flamey's looking in that direction, but he peeks up at the right moment, and still no progression made whatsoever. Last 2 players are at long. It's looking like a stunning half for Na'Vi.
Bad shot by Crizzen, but it's a double stack still on the car. Can Crizzen go any better? Yes, for the time being, but the bomb's still in a horrible spot. This is where Na'Vi need to stop peeking him. Just set up the crossfire. Some times will definitely help matters out. And Electronic will finish off the rest. 11-4, and 3 of those rounds off the back of the pistol. That was an 11-1 run for Na'Vi.
Yeah, very dominant half, and it's led by Flamey. 22-7, stellar play from him. The ops reign supreme for Na'Vi. They're going to go into the second half with a huge lead. Stay with us. Welcome back to IEM Katowice. Na'Vi taking on AVANGAR, an upstart team, but they're really in it now. 4-11 is the score at half, and they must mount a huge comeback on the defensive side of Dust 2. The Alps have been electric for Na'Vi. They have rang out and dominated this attack.
And it really just has been down to Flamey. Everyone else has been supporting him, but Flamey has been the main man. Let's see if that can continue. Most of his kills, of course, with the AWP very stationary. He may struggle a little bit on the T side, but we'll have to wait and see. AVANGAR, no nades, no kits. It's full-on confrontation they have in mind.
The nice thing for Na'Vi, I mentioned it, Flamey is a phenomenal secondary AWPer, but that's just it. He is the secondary AWPer. He is phenomenal with the AK-47 as well. A man of many talents. Fitch up on catwalk. He's joined by James. Hoping for anyone to turn the corner, but there's going to be a timing. Electronic's certainly going to spin. He's waiting for Flamey to join up with them. Fitch could get in a battle if he's looking the wrong direction. It could be so deadly. Smoke coming out top of Xbox. That can be for mid. Fitch is still remaining aggressive, passing along information. Zeus can force him back with a peek, but this could be an awkward fight. He could get caught. He has no idea. Electronic on the other side of that smoke.
Excellent first headshot, and with the information he gathered, James moved down into CT. It's not going to stop Simple from chipping him with a kill, and now moving on the B side where they have already struck onto Buster. He was holding B alone. With his death, the bomb site will plant down from Na'Vi. Now I'm going to try and stave off the retake. Edward, able to just hold position, doesn't necessarily have to go out and fight. Just peek up now and again, give the rest of his team an idea of how far down the tunnels they are. If they can land some headshots, all the better for it, but it's down to Flamey, the man in form. Fitch just destroys him, though, instantly through the window, and AVANGAR will get the second pistol.
Yes, they just could not contain those players retaking from window and doors. Two coming from the halls were fine. Edward could handle that. He got the one kill. He held them off for a very long time, but once Fitch starts getting those frags, it's all over. This is a great shot on Zeus towards top mid. This is what opens up the two players flanking from long, and they get to that B bomb site very, very fast. Na'Vi's able to get the bomb plant. No one moves in towards tunnels to stop a flank. All cordoned into the site makes that a little bit easier, but still a tough retake. That B bomb site on Dust 2 is one of the hardest sites we have in all of Counter-Strike to retake.
And keep in mind that Na'Vi were 4 players strong.
Yes.
They only lost one, and Buster died on B alone, so it was a 4v4. It is incredibly hard to retake. As I said at the start of the round, it was without any nades or any kits. So all the jewels going the way of AVANGAR. But with that bomb plant here, Moses, we're going to see some more action. There's 2 AKs that Galil picked up. Na'Vi mean business.
Yeah, they do. 1 AK on Simple, 1 on Flamey who's at the hot hand. There's one spotted in mid. Here's some aggression. Fitch has to be careful. He's all alone. If Simple turns this corner, he's got one. Now he's traded off, but Flamey's going to back him up. Big advantage for Na'Vi, especially because now look at the defense on the minimap. It's so split. Buster trying to join with Crizzen in mid, but James is all alone at pit, out towards long A. And Na'Vi, they realize that if AVANGAR want to know what's coming, they're going to have to peek for information so they can slow things down. Mission accomplished, mid control, 2 kills. Edward with his low HP has the FAMAS, but he'll turn into more than likely a lurker or someone who's just going to watch the flank.
I can also feel this one out a little bit and try and draw out what little remains of utility of AVANGAR before they decide to press. Edward needs to be very careful. A stray bullet will claim his life just on 2 health. Oh no.
No, that's all on the utility just used there by Zeus. That's a smart play because often that mid to B smoke, the best way to cover a mid to B split is to put 2 players in mid. They evacuate the B bomb site, eliminate half the attack, and go for the retake. And that has provided Na'Vi with just an entirely free bomb site. And we just talked about how difficult B is to retake now. I don't even think they can go for it.
A whole lot harder when you're a player behind and there's AKs and other rifles in play. AVANGAR may do well to just hold on to these guns. They've got plenty of utility, they've got a kit, they've got armor across the board, and they seem to be agreeing with that decision as they pull back. So Na'Vi, off the basis of a smoke, drawing Buster out, will get the first rifle round, I guess you could call it, because both teams had some.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, though. We just saw Na'Vi in the first half just winning by straight brute force and skill, like the AWP on Flamey especially. This is a nice round win and a tactical nature, with just smart decision-making and outplaying AVANGAR. So 12-5 now. It's going to be... I have to imagine AVANGAR is going to buy up. They have 3 rifles. The other 2 players are stuck in 15 and 1700, but you have to think that they're going to go for some upgraded pistols, have them dropped over with utility. This is still a pretty decent buy that you can make something work, and when you're down this much into the second half, you have to try something aggressive, something a little bit risky.
Sure, especially with a buy like this, you can't really afford to be involved in too many skirmishes. Out they go, and Simple with the first entry. I think he did see, definitely has seen Buster now, but I think he saw him just beforehand. Chris in the meanwhile is going to pace Zeus. This does put Simple all by himself, but he is able to strike against multiple players simultaneously. Kristen goes in with his second. Now Simple's down to 34. He's ate a bit of grenades from AVANGAR. Meanwhile, Flaney's making a move through Catwalk. Somehow still alive, somehow still kicking, but the final nail has been put in his coffin.
Advantage, though, for Na'Vi. They have the information. They know that there's 3 players at the A bomb site, even though they're a man down. If Electronic can get in and plant this bomb, Simple can play spoiler. He can wait to pounce. He can shut them down from crossing over to the B bomb site. He still has a role to play in this round.
Simple really could be the gatekeeper of this. He's got 1 still in position. He's on for the ace as well. Not far off landing the headshot, but Quicket comes back with his second. So a 1-on-2. Electronic with the Galil, not really tailor-made for this kind of a position. He'd love to have an AK instead. It's all going to be down to timing. He sees the first player able to spray through while flashbanged. And for a second there, Moses, I thought they'd lined up for him. I thought he was going to pull that one off while fully blind.
They entirely did line up for him, and if he has an AK-47, that might go differently. Valiant effort, though. Massive damage done. 3 kills. Still AVANGAR in the fight. That plant is going to help a little bit for Na'Vi. It'll be interesting to see what decision they make in terms of their buy in this round. And they're just going to go for it. Simple was a champion out long. 2 kills for him as his teammates are falling around him, and he's still maintaining the fight. A fight he's probably taken hundreds of thousands of time in deathmatch. This was very near another follow-up headshot onto Catwalk. An important kill that he doesn't get away and kind of team up with Electronic inside that bomb site. Simple's just going to go for it again, this time with the Deagle, of course.
Shows the confidence of the star player. After getting entries, 3 kills in the previous round, nearly got a 4th. Was only a matter of millimeters away from connecting the headshot. That could have actually won the round if he landed that shot, to be fair.
Important to note as well in the last round, there were 4 defenders at that A bomb site. If they only have 3 there, they might lose it. Another dry peek by Zeus forces the op back. Jane can't land the shot. They don't need to progress any further. They know they've backed him off the angle. But when Simple has 2 kills out towards long, and he's fighting a 3rd, that's why Flamey makes that play up Catwalk, because he's saying it's probably clear. That 4th player is what slowed him down and really got him caught in that awkward fight between long and the bomb site ramp.
Yeah, you could see that he was trying to fight 2 at the same time, flicking backwards and forwards. Wasn't too far off on either. But now the last smoke has just been used by Na'Vi. Flashbang's going to be tossed in afterwards. They are ready to push. And push they shall. Zeus gets the first, gets traded up. There's no interaction of play from Na'Vi. But now they're starting to wrap around. The V-split coming into fruition. Can Buster hold the line? If he survives, this round should be going the way of AVANGAR. But Simple, with the Deagle alongside Electronic, going to put it to rest. Jane cannot afford to get even close. He's going to save the AWP.
That's so sick. What a nice mid-B split. Shout out to Zeus. He gets 1 kill and he dies, but he runs through a Molotov to get that kill. It had to be an instant headshot. That provides the opening. That puts the defense in tatters. And you know what else does? Trading rounds back and forth. The CT economy is not equipped to deal with this kind of round trading early on. They have not been able to string 2 together. And a plant in the pistol round, a plant in the 3rd round, both of which AVANGAR won. Doesn't really help anything when the T-Side can just have that extra $800 every single time. James going to be able to save this up for now. Simple is coming behind him. I don't think he's going to be too aggressive on the chase. But you never know.
Yeah, with Simple, you never quite know what to expect from him.
Might use the timing.
He is going in. And should get the kill. And you know what? I think the bomb explosion masked his footsteps.
Bomb explosion, it could be communication with his team as well. Someone may be talking about the next round, and Simple is able to take advantage of it. That is so brutal. 1,500 on Krizin and James, 1,400 on Kykert. Only Buster and Fitch above 2,000. And they're going to go for it. I mean, they kind of have to. 6-13, but this is the worst buy they've had by far. This should be Na'Vi able to take this first map off this round, finally eliminate the economy completely. There's the AWP, and that's a rare miss for Simple, and the follow-up, he misses that, and he's probably getting frustrated.
Yeah, he'll expect himself to land at least one of those.
It's like that scene from Saving Private Ryan when the sniper misses those shots and he just starts getting pissed off.
In the clock tower.
Yep. Tough scene.
What a movie, though. Brilliant. Yeah, I think he's definitely frustrated because if he lands either of those shots, I mean, this round is in a horrible spot for AVANGAR again.
Well, he wanted to go back for a third, and I think he just realized, he was like, you know what, if I go back for that third and die, that's a tough situation to put the teammates in, we'll just back away. 4 players stacked up for AVANGAR on the A bomb site. And why not go for a stack? You have such weak weaponry, you might as well try it. But Na'Vi, as we know, going to systematically kind of pick this map apart. Map control on Catwalk forces the defense back, helps them open up mid. Now, because of the stack and the diminished weaponry, you probably won't see AVANGAR fight on too many fakes. They realize the stack is their greatest asset.
Absolutely need to remember that. Strand's flaming the meanwhile with the AK alongside Zeus. Na'Vi need to make sure they don't get tripping over each other's shoelaces, but they're going to be good to go. The SG chips in for the last one, and Fitch with a Deagle and Buster probably just want to hold on to these guns. They don't have much, so Kevlar alongside Deagles will be something to use in the next round. But one of them has been taken off the table. AVANGAR are romping towards this first map victory.
Yeah, they're making this look pretty easy. Now, they have so many advantages in the second half, and obviously in the first it was just all flaming. Look at him, 26 and 10, 123 ADR. Pretty nasty.
And worrying for AVANGAR fans, Moses, this was AVANGAR's choice of map.
It goes from bad to worse, doesn't it?
Next up is Tree. And yeah, we're talking about double up setups. Flamey can use it there as well.
That's gonna be brutal, you would imagine, especially if he keeps up with that form with the AWP that we saw here on Dust 2. I'm not sure. There's no right or wrong decisions for AVANGAR at this point. They just kind of have to keep fighting and try and get around and try and see if they can build momentum off of it. But they just have nothing to actually fight with. So tough times ahead. I have to say, this is a completely different AVANGAR than what we saw against FaZe on Mirage. We saw some like fast, aggressive individual plays from them that were able to kind of put FaZe in the back foot early on in these rounds. This has been, their T-side was slow every single time, walking in towards the AWPs. James got a lot of information on Catwalk. Navi's not slowing down, and there's going to be 3 players here on the initial defense. Great utility damage by AVANGAR. No one's peered in towards the bomb site. There's the Deagle. Still so many rifles coming in for Na'Vi.
The terror of that nade usage is now putting in the range of the 5.7s. Edward though close range to give a haircut to Fitch. Sprayed through the smoke, but his use that takes it away from him. So AVANGAR go from a fantastic start in this round to now being a player behind with a low J, no grenades to get back on the site with, no kits, and surely no hope. There need to be some 1-deeks. And Buster's Deagle has been taken away. May not have any more to play with. So 15-6, more than likely the score. Quicker can maybe find Simple. The fact that he was up on the little cusp of the wall really screwed with Simple's crosshair placement. That's going to yield him the kill. But I mean, it's just a drop in the bucket. The round's done.
Yeah, there's nothing to be happy about for AVANGAR on this defense. It's going to be 6-15. This is all but over. And it's going to be another round where they have to fight again with pistols. They've what, a 3-round losing bonus moving forward, but they have to win 9 in a row just to force overtime, and we haven't seen anything special out of them. Flamey's just been god tier this whole map. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Na'Vi, I don't know if I got baited into thinking that they were gonna have a really rough tournament, but Na'Vi have looked pretty solid. And they even look scary in the context of being able to go deep into this tournament.
I completely agree. I had them progressing through to the next stage, but they were definitely like a 50-50 for me.
I thought they would be like quarterfinal at most, but
yeah.
I think the big difference is Flamey's performance, not only today, but yesterday as well against Team Liquid, and basically throughout this entire Legend stage. Like, if they're going to have that 3rd star, yeah, you might have some issues with the team. Yeah, this might be like a last hurrah, see what happens, but you're still a team that last year spent the majority of the time as a top 3 team. You won a couple events last year. They were able to beat Astralis at ESL 1 Cologne last year, which few teams were able to do towards the end stretch of 2018. So, very dangerous is this Na'Vi squad. Simple's going to get this kill with the nade. Jane can do absolutely nothing about it.
That's just to watch and hope for the best, really. Oh, a couple of kills in quick succession. Edward and Zeus in a 1-on-2, stacked against Crisant. Crisant has been one of the better players for AVANGAR alongside Jame.
Hasn't been a very high barometer. AVANGAR is outplayed in every single aspect in this match. 16-6, a resounding victory for Na'Vi on AVANGAR's map pick on Dust 2. Flamey goes 26-11 to end it. Zeus is behind him, tied with Simple with 18 kills. Nothing to be happy about if you're the underdogs. Na'Vi just completely demolished you. We're gonna go to a break.